Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this year's Straits Times Global Outlook Forum. Now, this is our annual forum where we look back at the events of the past year, try to make sense of them, and look at where they might be heading in the year ahead.
So looking ahead, we expect an overall environment characterized by gradual economic recovery, mildly higher inflation, persistently low policy rates, and a weaker dollar. The after effects of the COVID-19 pandemic may linger on for some time, but a new US president and the discovery of vaccines for COVID-19 could be inflection points and herald better prospects for Asia and Southeast Asia in the coming years.
At a broader level, global cooperation will be especially important as we seek to exit the pandemic and rebuild. Let me highlight three important areas. First, in public health, we need to strengthen our collective response to future pandemics. Disease X is not a matter of if, but when. The second area for global cooperation is climate change, which affects all countries, especially small island states like Singapore. We need a global effort and multilateral solutions. This is also an area where cooperation in science and technology can propel us towards a green recovery. A third area is in digital governance. The digital revolution was well underway before COVID and sped up during the crisis as life shifted online. But global norms and rules in cyberspace have not been fully worked out. As technology becomes ever more pervasive in our daily lives, cybersecurity will be even more critical. COVID-19 has given us common cause to work together. Let us build on the momentum of cooperation from this crisis to make the best of this moment and lay the foundation for a more resilient, more sustainable, and more vibrant future.
The events of the last week have been quite stunning. The storming of the Capitol, the Democrats taking back the Senate, and then on the other side of the earth, the move against the opposition figures in Hong Kong, and then the very strong remarks about Taiwan. All of which I wonder, in your mind, does it make the possibility of a reset in US-China relations something we can be more hopeful or more anxious about?
There's a very sharp divide in American society, divides over economic opportunities, divide over issues of culture, issues of race, and so on. Now, in the case of China, different parts of China are developed to different degree. You see disparity between the developments in the major city, which are really first-tier cities, versus the countryside. And one major issue that China will have to deal with is a rapidly aging population. So both sides, both the US and China, will have significant domestic issues that they will need to focus their minds on. At the same time, I hope that both parties can come together to work on common areas to provide global leadership for the issues that I spoke about.
The pandemic has exposed fault lines and also caused great and in many ways lasting economic damage. With the vaccinations now beginning to roll out and countries in the region still better off than, say, the UK or the United States, do you see any reason for optimism for Singapore and for other economies in the region?
I think looking forward, there are a few silver linings that we can latch onto. First, as you mentioned, the vaccine has come a little earlier than expected and the rollout is already underway in many major economies. Second, China is the first in and first out of this crisis. And China, if they have stable growth, recovery this year, that would be a great source of stability and also growth demand for the region. On the offset, actually, there are a couple of things we still have to look out for, so it's not all going to be rosy from here. I think first and foremost, we have seen that this virus is a very sneaky virus. So the news of the more virulent strains coming out suggests that it is too early to let our guard down. And I think secondly, of course, is that the earlier concerns about US-China rivalry hasn't really gone away yet.
What is the scope for the US and China to work together on global issues like health and climate change? Is there space for the two powers to find a balance and work together?
It is far better for the US and China to cooperate. And it is in fact that the US has been the one who has been unreasonably provocative and bent on trying to block China's development and rise. There definitely have been overtures on the part of China. The challenge is how to overcome this level of mistrust, that the US has about China, enough for the two sides to be able to come together and work together in a constructive manner.